stay of that preliminary injunction. So that's a temporary pause. That is not permanently undoing the injunction. So as we sit today, that pause lifts the injunction that halted the arrival of new detainees. So let's all keep watching and stay vigilant to see what happens out here in the meantime. So what comes next? So the appeal is still pending. The state and federal defendants have appealed while this pause is in effect of the injunction. We are bringing the full force of our co-plaintiffs, our legal team, to fight that appeal. So Friends of the Everglades, Center for Biological Diversity, and the Miccosukee tribe will be fighting that appeal at the same court in Atlanta, but we get a panel of 3 new judges. That's an important fact to remember as this appeal is pending in the weeks and months to come. And we'll do our very best to expedite it, and we're working through the details and legal decisions of that right now. I want to make sure that we honor some of the heroes that are working behind the scenes in this battle. Our 2 attorneys at Coffee Burlington, Scott Hyacin, who happens to be Carl Hyacin's son, and Paul Schwepp, are incredible heroes. At Earth Justice, our co-counsel, Tanya Galoni and Dominique Burkhart, are doing incredible work. And so many people are traveling in their lanes and doing what they do best. And I think that can be said for all of you here today. And I want to express my personal thanks to you for showing up today. If we are successful in the appeal, then the preliminary injunction will be restored, and we'll go back to that status we had between August 7th and August 21st. And then we have the whole broader trial ahead of us on the permanent injunction so that NEPA can be complied with. A couple other things to take note of. As you all know, this is an incredible place for endangered species, and we did file a notice of intent to sue under the Endangered Species Act, as well as the Clean Water Act, and a 3rd law called the National Parks Organic Act. With those laws, you have to give the government notice that you're going to sue, and we are also looking at all of those options to make sure that, again, we're bringing the full force of our team's expertise and the community's will to this battle. So in closing, I just want to say that I've gotten so much hope from reflecting back on that battle in 1969, 1970, and the remarkable people who fought then, whose footsteps we get to walk in now. And I especially think about Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, who was not only an environmental advocate, she was a crusader for equal rights, for racial equality, she was a suffragist. She recognized the humanity that Betty speaks so powerfully about, and our connection to nature being instrumental to that. So I'll leave you with my favorite quote from Marjorie, because I think in this moment where we might be tempted to be downtrodden, it might lift us up a bit. Marjorie said, "Be a nuisance where it counts. Do your part to stimulate the public to be informed and join your action. Be depressed, be discouraged at the disheartening effects of greed and bad politics, but never give up." So never give up, and thank you all for being here.